Today, we become legends.
Hey, my name's Inter, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be ranking every single map that has ever existed in Smite. You'll have to excuse the shades, I had laser eye surgery literally 2 days ago from when I'm recording this, so bright lights don't really do too well, so I kind of have to wear the shades even indoors. So you'll have to bear with me with that, but yeah, we're going to be ranking every single map. Every single main map. I don't have adventures and things like that on this, because it's kind of pointless to rank the adventures against normal game mode maps, if you feel me. But yeah, we have all the Conquest maps, all the Joust maps, the 2 Clash maps. Any maps that have had just visual changes or not really anything gameplay related, I've just kept as one. So Siege has had a small visual overhaul. Arena's obviously had many visual overhauls, but the gameplay of these maps hasn't changed really whatsoever. I guess the only notable thing that's changed with Siege is that it went from 5v5 to 4v4. But yeah, mostly just visual things there. Assault v1 and v2, because there was some small gameplay changes between the 2 Assault maps, because I'm mostly doing these on gameplay, but I will talk about the visual design of them as well. I even have Jungle Practice down here too, and also Domination from when that was one of the main modes. I know that's technically an adventure now, but it was a main mode in Smite back in the day. But yeah, we're going to be ranking all these maps, S to D, so let's just get into it. Beta Conquest. So this is the one with the side jungles and the 3 buffs on the little side jungles and things like that, the much bigger map. I actually did kind of like this one. Technically I didn't play in it. I just like the look of this one, so I can't comment fully, so take my opinion on this one with a grain of salt, because I never actually played this map. But I'm going to put this in A. I feel like it looks like it was a really good map to play. Once again, maybe completely wrong on this. People who played Beta Conquest, let me know down below if it was even fun or not, because I've heard very mixed opinions on the side jungles and things like that. I think I really like the look of them. Some people said they were super fun, some people said they were terrible. So I don't know completely on this one. I'm going to leave it in A tier for now. It seemed like a really fun map to play. But from now on, I've played all of these maps, so I can comment fully on these. So Season 1 Conquest. Probably a B tier map. Obviously, from beta to Season 1, they removed quite a few things. They removed a lot of the side jungles, they deleted a lot of the buffs and simplified the map quite a lot, which, for me, I enjoy a more complex map, which is why I kind of like the direction Season 8 Conquest has gone. I'll get to that in a second, but I do like that they're kind of making the map a little bigger, more things to do and stuff like that in Season 8 Conquest. Season 1 was incredibly basic. It was just 3 lanes, no side jungles whatsoever, 3 or 4 buffs. I can't remember exactly how many buffs there were back then. I think it was 3. Because I think back then you just had red, speed, and blue. I don't think dual lane had a buff back then. I think purple buff was added later on in maybe Season 2 or something like that. In terms of visual design though, I didn't talk about Beta Conquest visual design. Beta Conquest visual design was a very mixed bag. Obviously the textures are very outdated. I'm mostly going on the general theme and style rather than the quality of the textures, because obviously all the maps have bad quality textures, that's just how it is. But as for Season 1 Conquest, I really like the look of Season 1. The whole design of it being very warm. You can see in the background of this image here, it's a lot of autumn leaves and things like that, or fall for my American viewers. I know most of you are American, so we'll call it fall. The fall trees and stuff like that. Very warm atmosphere to the Season 1 Conquest map that I did enjoy, that bumps it up a little bit. But in terms of gameplay, it was incredibly basic and a little bit boring. Oh, there's a mistake here. Can I delete this? Okay, I can't. I'll just put that one to the end. I originally did Season 2 Conquest and then realized that Season 2 to Season 4 was basically the same map, so they're going to be grouped. Same thing for Season 5 to 7, basically the same map with some small minor changes. So I'll basically talk about all 3 seasons with these ones and, kind of group them together and average them out. So Season 2 to 4 Conquest map was pretty bad, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. This could even go down here based on the fact that Season 3 and 4 were very horrible, but the Season 2 map was fine. Season 2 map in terms of gameplay basically didn't change from Season 1, there was some very small tweaks and that's about it. The visual design was a downgrade from Season 1 in my opinion. You can see in the images it was a lot of a sort of colder design than Season 1, I don't like that quite as much. It's debatable whether it should be in D, to be completely honest, because it's still Conquest, and at the heart of it I still do really like the Conquest map and the way it's designed, especially when you compare it to other game modes and things like that. So I think I'll leave it in C for now, but maybe as I place some more here, it's possible that could move down to D, because Season 3 and 4 really dragged this down a lot. Season 3 and 4 were the worst 2 seasons of Conquest, in my opinion, by a long shot. The Season 5 to 7, I think it has to be S tier, to be completely honest with you. The Season 5 map completely turned it around. From Season 2, 3, and 4, where the map was very boring. Season 3 and 4 specifically, it was horrible. Season 5 completely flipped that on its head, and while I think Season 6 and 7 could have made some more major changes to the map, overall it was still very solid over these 3 seasons. I like with Season 8 what they're doing with, I won't talk too much about it because I'm going to get into that in a second, but I like with Season 8 how they're evolving the map a lot more, and Season 6 and 7 really didn't do much with the map. I mean, granted, you don't need to fix what's not broken. Season 5 was a very good map, and the fact that they didn't ruin it is good, I guess. But I think they could have made some positive changes to the map that they didn't really make in Season 6 and 7. But overall, I can't really fault the Season 5 Conquest map. It was incredibly good. It almost sort of revived Conquest for me, in my opinion. Season 8, also S tier. I think Season 8 is definitely an improvement on Season 6 and 7. On Season 5, it's debatable because Season 5 has like a lot of special value in terms of that it turned around from the worst map almost, or probably, yeah, the worst Conquest map we've ever had, to one of the best ones we've ever had. So Season 5 has extra value for that, but Season 6 and 7 didn't really add too much. The map was getting a little stale. Season 8 refreshed it very well, and I actually like a lot of the changes they've done for mid-season with this. It seemed like it was going in a bad direction with the changes they made a few patches in where they added the vines and made the map darker. Didn't really like those whatsoever, but mid-season seems to have reversed the direction a bit of what they're doing with the Conquest map, and I like some of the additions, like the little bit of additional jungle on duo lane makes it a little more interesting to fight around there. The extra camps for solo, things like that, the buff for support. A lot of positive changes came in mid-season for this that bumped it up. I still don't think it would have been down here even without those changes, but it just makes it even better with those changes, really. Classic Joust. This one's a controversial one, because obviously they brought back Classic Joust. A lot of people are hating it, a lot of people are loving it, and I gotta say, I'm one that loves it. Classic Joust just holds a lot of value for me. I played a lot of Joust back in the day. When I first started playing the game, I wasn't really a Conquest main. I played a lot of Arena and a lot of Joust. A little bit of Clash when that came out, a fair bit of Assault. But like Arena and Joust were sort of my two modes back then, and obviously it was Classic Joust when I started playing, since they brought it back. The visual style of this I really like, you know, the castle in the background, the sort of almost realistic huts, kind of like medieval style. I like it a lot. And then obviously they improved the textures for the rework and things like that. I just really like the way this map plays. It definitely has its problems, don't get me wrong, that's why it's not S tier. Like, Season 5 and Season 8 have very few problems in my opinion. Classic Joust has a few more problems, which is why it's down in A tier, but I think it's still a solid map. You know, obviously Phoenix camping is extremely prevalent. I think what they could do with Classic Joust is just add Bull Demon King somewhere, or, you know, maybe not Bull Demon King because it doesn't really fit in the map, but the equivalent of a Bull Demon King that can either disable or weaken Phoenixes. To be honest, I don't even think it has to disable them. I think just weakening them would be fine. Or maybe kind of like a mini Fire Giant where you get bonus damage to structures, something like that. Just something to make Phoenix camping a little bit less prevalent, because I've played a fair bit of Classic Joust already, and Phoenix camping is just the worst, dude. Like, the map is super fun when people actually fight, but when people just sit under the Phoenix because they're losing, it becomes a little bit frustrating to kind of close out games on the map. So I think something to deal with that, and this map could move up to S tier for me. I really like it, but I know there's a lot of mixed opinions in this in the community, and some people will probably put it in C or D tier because they've had really bad experiences with it, but I do really like Classic Joust. Chinese Joust is either B or A. The question is, do I like it as much as Classic Joust? It's incredibly close. I think for now I'll put it in B, but this could be A, to be completely honest. When I play some other things, I'll see if this needs to move. When this first released, I was really sour on it, and I probably would have put it a lot lower. I didn't really like Chinese Joust when it first released, possibly because they removed Classic Joust for it, and like I said, I really liked Classic Joust. But it kind of grew on me over the years, and especially when they introduced Season 7 Joust, which we'll talk about in a second, it kind of made me like yearn for the old Chinese Joust. I don't know, something about this map felt very balanced, I guess. There was a lot of different ways you could play around on this map, and you know, the Bull Demon King obviously completely negates Phoenix camping, or not completely, but mostly negates the Phoenix camping that's prevalent in Classic Joust. And yeah, once again, this may move up, I'm not entirely sure. Season 7 Joust is a D tier map. This was horrible. I think the fact that they removed it and replaced it with Classic Joust confirms this, because like I had a feeling when I first started playing this map that it wasn't working. I didn't really like it at all. When they first revealed it, it looked okay, but in terms of actual gameplay for it, it just didn't do it for me. I played maybe 5 or 10 games of it and never played it again, both including Joust and Duel. It's not like I play a lot of Joust and Duel nowadays anyway, but I just really didn't like the map, and I think it really confirms it, the fact that they removed it. People obviously didn't like it. I bet Joust like fell out of the top 3 game modes or something like that because of this map, because they would never have done something so drastic to go back to Classic Joust, like deleting all the hard work they put into Season 7 Joust and bringing back something that they've made 7 years ago. That looks really bad for them. That looks really, really bad for them. So I think the numbers for Season 7 Joust must have been so horrendous that it was worth taking the negative PR of bringing back something they made 7 years ago that's better than what they made right now. It's almost like Classic WoW in a way, I guess. Classic WoW looks kind of bad for Blizzard because obviously the thing they made 20 years ago, people enjoy it more than the thing they're making now, which is always not a great look. Which makes me think Season 7 Joust performed really horribly, and that just confirms my suspicions that it was a terrible map, because I didn't like it either, even at release. I just had a feeling that it wasn't working. Roman Clash is probably B tier. I enjoyed Roman Clash. I can play Clash from time to time, especially when people are just like chilling out in Clash and not really taking it that seriously. I do enjoy myself a bit of Clash. For those wondering, the difference between Roman and Egyptian Clash obviously is the visual theme, but also Roman Clash had just a red buff in the middle, no Apophis, and it had Fire Giant and Gold Fury on either side instead of the Apophis. That's basically the only change between Roman and Egyptian Clash, which I'll put them both in the same tier. I think if I had to choose between them, Roman Clash slightly edges out Egyptian Clash. Both because I prefer the visual design of Roman Clash, and also because I think having the Fire Giant and the Gold Fury, or just two objectives, doesn't have to be Fire Giant and Gold Fury, worked better than the Apophis in my opinion. Just having that one central objective, I don't know, it's very... I don't really know how to describe it. The flow just doesn't really work. I like the idea of having like an objective on either side. Maybe they could have Apophis on one side and have something else similar to a Gold Fury that just gives you a bit of farm on the other side or something like that. It doesn't have to be Gold Fury Fire Giant, obviously, because they don't want to just make it Conquest. But two objectives, I think, worked better than one, in my opinion, which is why Roman Clash will be slightly above Egyptian Clash for me, but they're both very similar. They're both B tier. Siege. Siege didn't get the love it deserved, man. I'll put it in B tier. I think with some actual attention to this mode and some actual gameplay changes, it could have been like here, but I think it can only be B tier. I really love the map, but it has so many major problems. Thing is, they're major problems that could be solved, but obviously they're not going to be solved anymore because Slash is going to be coming out, so we'll see where Slash would place on this list when that releases later on in the season. I think they said sort of like the third quarter of the season they were going to be releasing that, so probably fairly soon after the mid-season patch. But yeah, Siege, the best way to describe Siege is that it had so much potential that wasn't explored, in my opinion. I think the map and the idea itself is really good. The execution was mediocre and wasn't improved on. Arena, I mean, I had to put Arena in C tier, to be completely honest. This is going to trigger a lot of people, especially if you're an Arena main. It's an Arena. There's not much more to be said there. It's an incredibly basic map. There's nothing to it. It never changes. It's like that meme, war never changes. Arena never changes. It's always the same. It's just a circle with some buffs on the side. There's nothing special about this map. I hope I haven't offended Arena players by saying that, but I think at least most Arena players are self-aware that the map is very basic and they just want to go on there and they want to kill people, and that's totally fine. But it's not a good map, let's be honest. Anyone could design this. A toddler could design this map. Just put everyone in a circle and make them fight each other. It's not hard. To be honest, it could even come down here, to be completely honest. In fact, I think I will leave it down there. Hopefully I haven't offended too many people by doing that. Assault v1. Once again, Assault is just Assault, right? It's a lane. It is kind of similar to Arena in that it's not a bad map, but there's also nothing to it, really, to be completely honest with you. Like, Arena and Joust being in the same tier is a little bit misleading because Season 7 Joust is a bad map. Arena's not a bad map, but there's just nothing to it. Whereas, I guess Season 3 and 4 Conquest and Assault are kind of similar. Season 3 and 4 Conquest was kind of bad, like, poorly designed. Assault's not poorly designed, it's just it's a line. Like, what more do you want from me, really? It plays fine, but moving into Assault v2, I think is up one tier from Assault v1. I think the changes they made to Assault were positive. It doesn't change too much, which is why it's only up one tier, but I like the little healing pods, it makes it so healers are a little bit less essential for Assault, and it's not like if, they get a Cupid or a Baron that don't class as a healer, they win the game automatically. The pods really help with that. The little side jungle, I think, was unnecessary, to be completely honest with you. I think they could have totally cut out the little side jungle and just had it as a straight line lane like they did before and just add the healing pods and been fine. In terms of the visual rework, I do like the new Assault design. It looks very cool, like the Aurora Borealis style, the Jormungandr. I think it's pretty cool. Jungle practice. This is obviously a meme. I'm putting this one mainly here for the meme, but let's put it in A tier. As a content creator, I really like the new jungle practice map. They had one before this current one that was like pretty pretty trash, to be completely honest. But this new one, it has a lot of features that are really nice for content creators. The only thing I would improve about it is ability to sort of like access commands like free cam and things like that for like cinematic shots and stuff like that. Maybe like slow-mo, things like a lot of the things they do on the patch notes where like Pom goes like slow-mo and casting ability and things like that. I wish I could do that in jungle practice. That's the only thing I'd really change about the map. Domination. This is the final one, obviously. The Season 2 Conquest thing is a mistake by me. I think Domination will put in Z tier. It's a map, you know, it's not great. There's a reason they removed it. It doesn't really fit with Smite, to be completely honest. It's funny as an adventure occasionally. You know, if you want to give it a try, it rotates around as an adventure fairly frequently. I think we've had it 2 or 3 times now. As like a little rotating adventure mode, and it's fine. You know, it's pretty fun. This could totally be a match of the day, and I won't complain about it. But as like a mainstay mode, it didn't really work, and you know that's why they removed it. So I think C tier is a good place for it. And yeah, now that I've placed all these, I think I'm fine with where I put them. You know, I was thinking this could come down here, but I don't think it needs to. I don't think it's as bad as these two, or as bad as this, and as basic as Arena. Like I said, Arena's not a bad map. It's just incredibly basic, and anyone could design it. Chinese Joust, I think, probably does deserve to be here. Classic Joust, I think I do prefer just a little bit. That's probably an unpopular opinion. I think most people will flip around Classic and Chinese. And I just realised my camera's been off. I don't know how long that's been off for. Hopefully not too long, so I apologise for that. I must have run out of battery at the end. I got like a professional camera recently. In terms of ordering these, I think probably this, Season 1. Chinese probably goes like here. Roman over Egyptian, then Siege, then Assault. Maybe like this. Siege has a lot of problems. Assault V1. Yeah, I'll leave Season 2 to 4 here just because Season 2 kind of carries it. Assault V1, then Domination. I'll put Season 7 Joust behind Arena just because Season 7 Joust is actively a bad map, whereas Arena's not actively a bad map, it's just very basic. So yeah, that's the entire list. Obviously, it's my personal opinion. I'm sure you disagree on some of these placements. Some of them probably wouldn't be widely agreed upon, like Season 8 Conquest, I think people would widely agree is one of the best maps they've made. Season 7 Joust, I think, is widely agreed upon to be the worst map they've ever made, and that's just confirmed by the fact that they literally removed it and replaced it with something they made 7 years ago. But yeah, let me know down below what like your personal favourites were. You can even rank them all if you wanted to, if you have the time. There's only like 15 here. Probably won't be too hard for you to do that if you want to do that, and I'll be interested to read that from everyone. But yeah, fairly low effort video today. Like I said, just had recent laser eye surgery, so I don't want to be staring at screens for too long making videos, editing and things like that, because I'm probably not supposed to be. So, but I wanted to get something out for you guys anyway, so I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll catch you guys later. Have a great day, and peace out, you nerds.